Yes, finally. Welcome to Verity TV on Facebook Live. I am G and I'm here with my former husband, aka my exy, sexy exy, David.
That's
Welcome.
me. Yeah, man, bless.
Yes. Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before we get into conversation, Happy New Year.
Thank you. Same to you.
Thank you. Any New Year's resolutions?
No, I don't do those things.
Oh, you don't? Okay. And I'm the opposite. I'm just a resolutioner. I have like 25 of them. I've already achieved 24.
So then,
I'm joking.
so
I'm joking.
What's the point? Yeah.
No, in the end of the next couple of months, then I can say I've achieved all of them. Yeah. So, want people to join, want people to share. If you come on this conversation.
Let me see if I can get you. Let me see if I can get.
How's it appearing? We got Nikki Lopez over here doing our, what's that, production. Is it appearing correctly here? Are we seeing it?
I'm waiting for it to come up.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Hopefully, hopefully we're not sideways. Oh, we are sideways.
Looks like a big side.
Can we turn it
swiper.
this way now?
You could just make it go straight up and just do that for the whole
Yeah, let's
time.
do that.
So the first 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 3
I
minutes.
tilted. Yeah. So I did Queer Qonversations 2017 where we filmed, what's that called? Pre-recorded, we edited. It took 25 years to get it out. I'm exaggerating, but it took some time. So now I'm like, let's just go live and do Queer Qonversations live. And this is just having conversations about the LGBT community and our allies.
Yeah,
Now
man.
you can see it now. Did it tilt
It
back?
don't tilt back yet, but it'll catch up.
It'll catch up.
And then here you can do this. No, so you can
Well,
do
this is a great start to the new year.
That's not what I want.
Still not doing it?
Yeah, no,
So this
not
is
what
just-
I wanted to do, but it's
Okay.
alright. It's good. I want to actually set it up another way. So keep going.
Just keep going?
Yeah, man. For
Okay.
real.
So, I don't want to have this profound, great, dynamic conversation and we're upside down. So are we in the correct direction?
We're correct now. We're correct.
We're correct. Okay, cool,
We're
cool.
correct and for real.
Okay, because we couldn't do sideways, right?
No, we could, but it didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
Yeah,
Okay,
so don't stress it.
I'm not going to stress it.
Exactly.
And I wanted to thank you for joining me.
You're welcome. Most welcome.
Yes, and I talk a lot about my side of the story in terms of, realizing I'm gay and come out of the closet.
You're what?
I know, right? Shocker. And I wrote about it. You have a magazine there we can talk a little bit about. I wrote about it, and I'm writing my memoirs, which has taken a couple of years, but this is the year finally to get the memoirs out. Please stay tuned. So I thought, how about hearing some of your side of the story? And I'm going to share this with you.
Already? We reached that far already?
Oh, you don't want to talk about
No,
it
man,
yet?
we can get there. Hold on. I just want to make a connection. So let me try this here.
One of the things I wanted to say is that when I share my story, people enjoy it, they're inspired, and they go, what about David's side of the story? What did David feel? What did he think? So we have 30 minutes, we don't have 30 hours. This could be a book. You could write a book too, just about that. So, it's 30 minutes. So
All
just
right.
a snapshot
So
of
ask
some
me
of
what
the
you really want me to talk about.
talk about this whole story from your side in terms of
You want me to just
we can
lavish?
just go from, I can ask you some questions. We could go from let's take it back to 1990 something when I say to you, oh my God, I think I'm gay. Like, what were you thinking? And if something feels way too personal for you and you don't want to share,
No, man, I don't
you don't have to.
care
You don't have
about
to share. So
No stress at all. I'm
So-
actually just going to hand this off
okay,
because now we're correct.
okay.
And if you go here,
Thanks for joining. Share this video. We are on live Verity TV. The show is called Queer Qonversations, and I'm here with my former husband, aka
all
my
right, so I'm
sexy
ready.
David
Hopefully
Muir.
it comes up.
Yeah, hopefully. Is it on my page now? You got it on my page too? Thank
Yeah,
you very
man.
much. So, okay, so we're going back to 1990 something. I'm in a van in the Bronx, New York. I was actually supposed to be going up to class that day as in law school, and I was like, I asked you to come down, and I told you, I think I'm a lesbian. You remember that day?
No.
Oh my gosh. That's so
No clue.
fascinating. No memory. So what's your
No
memory?
I mean, I have memories about us trying to talk about, well, what does it mean and how are we going to, work on our marriage based on this new information. But I don't actually have any recollection of a van or being called downstairs or anything like that.
Isn't that something how memories are? Because I remember that clear. So, okay. So what's your thoughts on what was it like when I said to you as gay?
Well, what are my thoughts? It was, I guess in the big picture, it was a shocker.
Yes.
And it was also very challenging because, like, you know, I mean, I didn't know what to think, or it was completely new. So, I mean, a million things went through my mind from, you know, what did I do to help that to happen, what was it that I did to deserve this situation, or what. Well, no, for sure. I thought, well, what are people going to think? That was definitely on my mind. And you know, I'm not that person.
Anymore.
No, even then I wasn't the person to what people think like that. But in this case, it was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was a big deal.
What? Yeah. So that was definitely a big deal, especially at that time. This is not yesterday.
You're talking about the 90s. This is late 90s.
Right. So it was definitely a different space for us, and for me, because I hadn't yet reached where I am in terms of my own understanding of what it is to be different in that way. So,
yes, interesting. You know, we talk so much all the time, but I'm hearing stuff I never heard before.
You never asked a question before.
Well, it takes Facebook Live to be like, let me ask you this question. So I'm glad we're doing this, and you know, we should do this every week. No, I'm joking. That's way too much. But I'll be going live every week. But I'm glad that you're my first guest on Queer Conversations Live, and I love that. So, you know, one thing would you say you consider yourself homophobic at the time?
Definitely not.
Not. Do you consider you ever homophobic?
Definitely. I grew up in a homophobic culture.
Where is this?
Come on.
Okay, for people who don't know,
in Jamaica,
you know, they should also do that. We were married in the 90s, and we have a family, children, and everything. And at some point, we end our marriage, and we remain friends, and we make a lot of fun and videos call, and we kind of say, "Oh, it's sexy exy," because we're exes, and we both happen to be extremely sexy, so it's perfect, right? So and we met in Kingston, Jamaica, in the 80s. So you know each other, right? So you're saying, hey, you came from that culture, and so did I. And I was also homophobic, and I talk about that as well. So you're homophobic. What was it that took you from being homophobic to being accepting? Like, how did you evolve beyond homophobia?
Well, you use the word evolve. It's an evolution. It didn't happen by snapping my fingers. I think for me, definitively, what helped me to evolve was actually meeting people who were gay.
Yes.
You know, look,
hey,
it's me.
Yeah, thanks for joining. Thank you everyone for joining. I see Karen, Caroline, Janique, thank you for joining. Happy New Year, everyone.
Yeah, man.
Ask us any questions. You can ask him questions. I'm always talking about my side of the story. So I said, how about some from David's side? You share a little bit, but people don't know. And people are always asking me, hey, Matthew, welcome. Queer Conversations Live on Virgin TVMG. This is David, my sexy exy, sharing some of his side of the story. You have any questions? And share this video. Things are a little different here, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
So, I guess at the end of the day, for me, I think the main thing was meeting people who were gay. Because I had grown up thinking not only was gay bad, because it was what I was led to believe based on my culture, but I also didn't know anyone who was, and I thought anybody who was had chosen some hedonistic lifestyle as something that was against the law of nature. Like that was how it was framed in my youth. So when I met people who explained their journeys to being themselves, it made me come to realize pretty easily that it just was not something to, be negative about or to, hold it against somebody for them being themselves,
Well, it's funny because some people know, some people don't know that I actually was homophobic as well, and it's ironic that you helped me overcome and evolve beyond homophobia. I thought it was wrong, but similarly, I actually remember you had a job in Manhattan at some point. We lived in South Florida for many years, but for many years we lived in New York City. David was working in Manhattan, and I remember you saying like you met some people who were gay, and you were telling me about their lives, and I was like, wow, yeah. And it was like, even though I did have someone that I knew was gay, my parents' good friend who I call aunt, it was like I didn't really see her as gay. I didn't see her girlfriend or a partner. So it was kind of like that's her story, but I didn't know anything about it. So this is like one of my first I'm really hearing like, hey, these people are gay, and here's another Jamaican saying, hey, they're cool people. And then for me, I also ended up
it
with...
was more than cool. It was real. It was like,
yeah.
I had coworkers, multiple, at my job that were gay. And it was like, it certainly helped me getting to know them in the work environment. That made me realize that, there weren't people who were bad people intrinsically, and they weren't being something other than who they truly were. And that helped me to have, I started to gain great acceptance.
Let me ask you this now, fast forward to where are we, late 2000s now? I don't even know what to call it. 2015, 16. Well, fast forward to the recent years. We were talking about the 90s. We're now in wherever we are, 2015, 16, 17, 18.
So
and recent years, and I'm openly gay. Some people ask, is David gay as well? And then you get that question, how do you feel about that? How do you handle it? What do you think? What are your thoughts?
I have no thoughts at all. That's funny. I've had so many people assume I'm gay for not just you, but for so many other things. Like the fact that I will wear a nice shirt like this. Or
you used to color your hair.
Color my hair. Or whatever it was that I would so freely express myself. People who are, I don't want to label anybody anything, but I'm going to say they're more repressed than I, thought that the fact that I was not repressed equaled I'm gay, because they were so unwilling to be open about themselves and to just live their true authentic life, that they thought that only somebody who had taken that, I am a gay person is going to actually be free in that way. And again, that's far from the truth, but in some people's existence and what they experience, that's true for them, because they could never live openly the way that I do. And so that disconnect makes them say, well, I think he's gay for sure. But no, I'm not gay.
And it's funny that growing up, I don't know how Jamaica is now, but when we were kids, that was one of the biggest insults. This is someone said like, oh, you're such and such. We had all these other words. But it's like, oh, you're batty man for or you're gay, or you shouldn't say that. I can say it's my channel, I can say it. So, or you're this, you're that. And the whole thing was to fight and defend and say, no, I'm not this man, this is my little girl. And you don't find yourself having to do anything like that. You kind of just like, I love that.
I'm genuinely happy with myself. I really am. And when you love yourself the way I do, like the opinions of others really don't get you down.
No matter.
Yeah, so I'm definitely way evolved past. Like I need to change my behavior to find more acceptance.
Yeah,
I'm long past that.
Yes. Well, and a big part of that, and I share that quite a bit, is that philosophy helped me be able to be openly gay, because like most people, I was worried about what people think, and oh my God, people think this, and what about that, and it's just like let go and release all that, and life is just so much better on this side where you just don't care. Sometimes I have to say kind of
don't describe it as I don't care.
Okay,
because we care, but we don't live for the acceptance of others. Right. There's a big difference. Because we do care. I still care, and you still care.
I probably don't care. I probably don't care enough.
Look at how you're dressed.
Well, I love this for myself.
Yeah, but
like I do this when no one's around in the mirror. I dress like this for myself before I let other people see me. So I love this. Right.
But do you dress like that when you're going into bed?
Sometimes I do.
Yeah, but only sometimes. The bottom line is, it's part of how we get up.
Right.
It's still a get up.
Yeah.
And we do that because not just for ourselves. Exactly. Yeah. And so we do care.
But with not caring, like suppose everybody hated how this looks.
Yeah, you would change it.
I would still do it. But do I appreciate people saying, "Oh my God, you're so handsome. I love that." Of course I appreciate that. So that part I care. But if it's negative and people are like, "Nah, look how," then I'm like, it doesn't affect me. So I care in terms of, if they're compliments, I enjoy them, of course. But if they're insults, and I'm like, I don't really care, So,
it's the police.
Yes. So we're okay. So let's just greet some.
We gotta close the door. We're live.
Greet some people here that we have. We have Kavor all the way from Jamaica. We worked at Montego Bay Pride together. Big up Kavor, Melissa, Lady Song. Thank you everyone for joining and for sharing. Thank you Nikki Lopez for doing our production there.
And thanks
So-
for Yannick helping too.
Yes, thank you very much. So I lost my train of thought for a second.
Yeah, we
we were talking about not caring and caring. You say you care, but I'm just saying I don't care if people are negative about me, because then I'd still be, dressing like this only for myself in the mirror, and I feel very comfortable, coming out and stuff and being myself. So the other part, there are the people who come to you who are like, forget about whether or not you're gay. It's like, why do you support her? Why? There are the people who
nobody has ever questioned my support.
Okay, great.
Because they just chalk it up as either he's gay too, or he's as immoral as you are, or whatever it is that they in their mind frame. Obviously, I've heard by report that there are people who refuse to do business with me because of, I associate with people like you.
Wow.
How
Sorry
dare.
about that. Thank you.
I'm doing okay. I'm not worried about those people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so have I heard that there are people who are unaccepting of who I am because I am an ally?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes, I've absolutely heard that. And
Do you care?
well, I care,
Yeah.
but it's not enough to make me change my support for what I believe is right.
Right.
Yeah, so, and I rarely try to define anything by right and wrong. But I think that it's absolutely wrong to discriminate or to hate any group, no matter who they are. Even, I mean, like I dare to say something like, even like Mac users, like some people actually spend twice the amount of money to get the same computer.
I don't understand it.
I don't hate on them.
Yeah.
I don't understand it, but I don't hate on them. So, like,
Similarly.
that's the same kind of thing to me. It's like the same. It's equal. Like, there are people that buy iPhone and whatever products. Like, if it's not an I, as in Irving, or
Yes.
I Muir, I'm
David
not.
photo.
I'm not figuring out why people go that route. Yeah.
Right. So I love that about you. Just overall, just accepting people for who
You
they
know,
are.
everybody.
Yeah.
I love them all. I love everybody. Even people who can't speak English.
Wait, so let me share here, and I'm not sure where we are in time. So I appreciated it. David has a magazine called Island Origins, and I don't know if I said I want to write an article. You suggested I write an article. I can't remember. Sometimes I make up stories.
You make up some amazing stories in
So
your
I don't
head.
want to make it up.
No, don't make it up. We asked you
Thank you.
to write the story.
Thank you.
You didn't suggest it.
I love this.
Question?
Yeah, any questions? We have some great comments there. Thank you. Happy New Year, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for joining. I'm here. I'm G from Bird GTV's my show, Queer Qonversations, live with David Muir, who is my former husband, and my sexy exy, and a photographer and artist. And also, he's like Jamaican. He has 12
I have a
jobs.
lot of things.
So he has this
yes,
magazine.
Hold
so-
the face so you don't block yourself.
Okay,
Go
but I
ahead.
just want to share
you
this
wanna show?
actual.
Okay.
So he asked for me and suggested and for me to write this article, My Life as a Gay Jamaican. And I get, where can people get this magazine?
Well, the magazine is distributed throughout South Florida.
Okay, but people
Or if you want it and you're not in South Florida, you can go online to islandoriginsmag.com and subscribe.
Okay, great.
It's a free magazine. It doesn't cost you anything
You just
except the
pay
shipping.
for the shipping.
Yeah.
And
if you-
shipping's not $49.99, is it?
No.
Okay.
It's like $15.
Great, there you go.
But
That's a good deal.
to get the year, it's not one. It's
Yes.
like a series of them. So it's a quarterly magazine. You can definitely get Island Origins at islandoriginsmag.com. Even more than that, you can read it online. It's available literally on the website. It's also available
So it's
electronically.
Island Origins. Yeah, thank you for
and
the
if
opportunity.
you could, Nikki, I don't know if you can share the link to the
And
magazine.
what I love
in
about
the
this
comments.
too is that a lot of times, I do a lot of events for LGBT community, and so a lot of time I'm speaking to my community. So this gave me an opportunity
Different
to speak
platform.
to another platform. Look at this picture of us as a family. Look at my boys who are now like men. But so cute. But anyway, yes, I appreciated that because people who don't necessarily hear from, people like myself, gay, LGBT, lesbian, queer, stud, whatever, all the different names we have for ourselves, got to see that I'm getting some great feedback. Where can I get it? Here in South Florida, where can she get it physically?
South Florida, it's available in hundreds of locations. I can't list them all, but it's in a few Whole Foods. It's in like all the Kuman learning centers.
Okay.
It's literally like every salon, beauty salon.
Restaurant, Jamaican restaurant?
No, it's not in Jamaican restaurants. Sorry, that's where you
Okay,
get
that's
those
fine.
newspapers.
Okay, newspapers.
But yeah, we don't have it in the restaurants, but we do have it at like a lot of places, including libraries, and there's a whole list. I don't do the distribution, so I genuinely
and
don't
you
keep
can get it online.
But you can get it online. You can just order it, and actually, I really recommend everybody just subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, and it's worthwhile. It comes to your house. You get the physical copy. It's a really good deal.
So I want to we're going to be wrapping up soon. I see Cheney all the way in California saying we're very inspiring. Thank you. Happy New Year to you as well. Everybody, Happy New Year. Thanks for joining.
Listen, hold on.
Yes.
I know that they're not Jamaicans. So I will not speak in patois. I will speak in the proper English. If everyone would hurry up and ask a question, we really need questions so we can answer. G knows all my things already.
I thought I did. I'm learning something.
She's not going to ask me good questions. Uno, sorry, that's you all out there, need to ask some questions. So if looks like we have about 100 people live currently based on the numbers here. If even half of you ask one question.
So we're not going to get off.
Right. So just ask quickly. Type it up. We're going to wait for the questions. Looking forward to it.
Okay.
You have anything more on your list?
Oh, let me see. I did a little list if I can read it.
Oh, you want to borrow my glasses?
Yeah, hold on. No, it's not. It's my handwriting. They said I should have been a doctor.
Yeah, you should have.
Let's see here. I guess I think I covered everything here, but something here that I wish I could read. But why did you, this is the thing I have here. It's kind of like, well, why did you encourage me? Because some people don't know, but it's like, David really was like, go ahead. You can do it by yourself. I was like, it wasn't just like, yeah, you really pushed me. Like, what made you or what inspired you to feel like you should really push me?
There's no inspiration. I don't understand the world and the way people think. So I'm very, very different. You tell me you're gay.
Yes.
What else should you do about what you are?
Yeah, but I was afraid to be myself.
But it's who you are.
Yeah.
So I don't understand. Like, so this is the part that doesn't. Like, say for example, you say you want to write a book.
Yes.
Then when I say to you, go and write your book. It's what you want.
But writing a book doesn't impact you. This impacts you differently.
Of course, writing a book is going to impact me.
Well, yeah. Well, but meaning not as much as a marriage.
Right. But once I then ask that you live as your inauthentic self to make me happy, that wouldn't make me happy, because what's going to make me happy is seeing that the person that I'm sharing my life with is happy. Yeah. I can't ask for you to be miserable to make me happy. That makes no sense at all. To me, again, a lot of people do things that are very selfish, and I'm not denying, I too am selfish. But my concept of happiness is the people around me need to be happy. And so in seeking my own happiness, I needed for you to be your authentic self. And if it worked out that we could still be together, that would have been great. But if it didn't, which it didn't, then it's also great. Because I would not want to be with you trying to pretend to be what you are not. That wouldn't work for me at all.
I appreciate it. I think a lot of people who see me now like cartwheeling and backflipping, proud to be gay. Would never imagine the years of like, I was really afraid. Oh, someone here is crushing on the white specs. Thank you, Simeon. Thank you very much for that. Subscribe. Okay. Happy New Year, everyone. So I don't think. Hey, let's see. What is difficult? Was it difficult to explain to your boys? That's a great question. Thank you for the question. You happy for the question?
You want more questions, Paula? Thank you.
You answered.
Okay. So the whole issue again for me. Nothing is difficult that's real. So, for example, telling the boys what's real in the world, what's difficult about it? I don't even understand how it can be difficult. Again, if you're worried about your children rejecting you for who you are, then there's a serious problem. Like, you need to teach your children to be accepting of everybody, whether it's what they like or not. Like, I could never have worried about what my children would think about the reality of the life that they're a part of.
Yes.
Yeah, like no fear at all.
So that's David's side of the story. My side is it was difficult because I was afraid, but it was only like my sense of things. Once they knew, they didn't really care. So they just want. That's
a good question.
Oh, that's a good question.
Terrence, sorry. So here. Sorry. Okay, go ahead, and then I'll answer.
So I just want to say, like, once I told my boys, it was fine, but I did have some hesitance and fears going forward, and it was worked out really well. They're very happy and proud.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, but
they are extremely happy that their mother is her authentic self.
Yeah, they love it.
They buy into that concept very well. There is no, oh, my mother is gay. No, it's like, yes, my mother is gay.
Yeah.
And one of our children says to anybody that they meet, if you want to be my friend, you have to like gay people. Otherwise, we cannot be friends. So, like, that's just like straight up. But
he's like, hi, my mom's a lesbian.
Right. And you better just accept that, or peace. We can't be cool.
Okay, question.
Okay, how long into the marriage did you know she was gay? About 1 year.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then we stayed married another 16 years after that.
Interesting.
Very interesting. So 1 year. And again, I was being what I promised to be. I was her partner. I was being supportive. And believe me, every one of those years were important to get her to be where she is today. So everything in its right time. Like, without literally nothing before its time. Had I left before when I did, it would not have been a good situation.
Yeah, everything for a reason.
Everything for a reason. Yeah. And then 2, how did you deal with the emotions of it?
I cried.
Which part?
How did you do this? Your side. So
right. How did I deal with emotions of knowing that my wife was gay? It was very difficult. I talked a lot to friends and people who were allowed to know. Because, again, I've heard people who are coming out say it's never ending. You're always coming out. Like right now, it's coming out one more time.
Yeah, some people are like, what? She's gay?
Exactly. Yeah. So when you're coming out, when you're saying I'm not normal, or sorry, let me rephrase that. I'm not like what everybody calls normal. You're always going to be, there's always going to be some surprise. Like, oh really? You're not like exactly like me? Oh my goodness. So that's a continuous situation. So in terms of how I dealt with emotions, I was able to work with it fairly well because I always had a great person to talk to me. No matter what, Gwyneth and I have always been amazing friends.
Always friends.
Out everything. So we were able to talk about it over and over. We exhausted any of our personal issues. And then I was able, as we allowed more people to know, as the coming out process began, then I would have those people to talk to, and that also helped. I'm a very, very, very verbal person. I have no problems expressing my thoughts and my emotions. And by doing that, I was able to like really deal with it well because I had people I could lean on and, I mean, yeah, just get help from. Thank you for the comment, Troy Ann.
Yes, so proud of you guys. Happy to see you love for each other. Yes, I'm moving forward on another level of parenting and supporting each other. Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you. Enough love to you too, Shelly. And thank you everyone for joining. Jeffrey, all the way in California. Terrence. Judge Parker. Thank you for joining. Angela, Paula, everybody. Timmy. Okay. And Jackie.
Yeah, hi,
Adrian. I didn't see Adrian. Wes, Carlene. Thank you everyone for joining. I think we'll wrap up, right? What do you think? Yeah.
One last question.
One last question.
I don't know.
I have no idea time. What's the time?
We just started.
It's 6:30. Okay, so I'm just gonna share.
And we got to a late start, so we have time.
We have some time. So share that every Tuesday at 6:00. I'll be going live here on Virgin TV. I'll have different guests. This is my first guest for this year. I had a show called Queer Qonversations I put on YouTube last year where I pre-recorded it. Took a long time to edit and put it up. We had Diana King, we had Maurice Tomlinson, Angeline Jackson. It was wonderful, but I figured how about going live and just making it much easier going live. So thank you for being my first guest. But yeah, more questions? Thank you. Glad we're getting some good compliments here. And we see Luke has joined as well.
Uber.
Yeah, any more questions?
Okay, well, we're gonna just...
You want to talk a little bit more or you want to wrap it up?
Oh, it's a monologue? Well... If you want to know more about
let me ask this part. Let's ask this part. So
Shoot.
I know this is like so casual, great conversation.
Definitely.
So what do you want for your future? Since you're sharing your story, do you see yourself getting married again? Would you like to marry, have another, like, do you want to get married? What do you want to do?
Well, okay. I think that marriage is spectacular. Even though I had unusual, in some respect, marriage, I find partnership to be really just an amazing thing. So I would definitely love to get married again. I'm not in a rush.
Okay.
I'm not in a hunt. If that person reveals themselves to me, they could be anyone.
Right.
And I find that that's the person I want to spend my life with, then that would be great. Because I really do want that partner. But I'm actually pretty awesome. Just like this.
Yeah.
So I'm really cool. I don't have a specific this has to happen. Fortunately for me, I've been married and I have children and I have like all of this accomplished.
Yeah.
So I'm not chasing that again. I've already done that. I would love for it to happen, and I'm okay if it doesn't.
Oh, okay, that's a good place to be in. You know, and I'd just say for any of the single ladies out there, he was a really great husband. I highly recommend him. Yeah,
that's
so
hilarious.
We were like very like supportive, and this I don't need to go down the whole line of everything, but you know, I definitely like highly recommend him. So. You know, if you're interested, dial 1-800.
So, Jackie, to answer your question, you don't need to tape it. They're going to post it on the Very G TV Facebook page, and you can always go back and watch this episode or future episodes. So you definitely don't need to worry about taping it. It will be there. It'll be up on Very G TV, which is a Facebook
page.
Group or page.
It's a page.
The Facebook page.
So also if you're here, like the page, follow the page, and then every Tuesday.
Yeah, man. And to all Douglases out there, Jackie, I know you didn't born Douglas, but you're a part of a Douglas crew that I love. So for all those Douglases, whether it be Chris, David, Jamie, any of those, like big up, big up, big up.
Okay.
Yeah, because for those who don't know, in elementary school in Jamaica, David Douglas was my best friend.
Okay.
So so I grew up with that crew of Douglases for sure.
So he's related to, connected. So big up to the Douglas. And big up to everyone here. Yes. She said she was born.
You don't get me, Jackie.
I like this. Luke says, David's song, "Oh Lord, it's hard to be humble when you're perfect in every way." Yeah.
Thank you, Luke.
Yeah,
you know all about that song. That's me.
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
100. I love myself some David Muir.
And I like you.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I love David Muir too. Great to have you on. I'm gonna wrap up because this has been great. Thanks for joining Queer Conversations and Very G TV. You don't have to leave the shot. You want to leave the shot?
You're wrapping up.
Okay, that's fine.
Get in your way.
That's fine. You weren't in my way. That's just fine. So I love live because it's just so casual. When you film before, I think some parts of it we would cut out that people would miss some part of it. So thank you everyone for joining. Every Tuesday at 6 o'clock. Hold me to it. Hold me to it. Nikki, hold me to it. Every Tuesday 6 o'clock on Very G TV Queer Conversations. If you have any ideas of someone you want to see me talk to, you want to see a conversation here, LGBTQ and allies, just let me know. Thank you again. Happy New Year. All those people with their resolutions, please stay strong. I'm here with you, and join me next week and every week, Tuesday at 6 p.m. EST time. Thank you.